Welcome to Fxdwg Repairs Garage. Here is my 1996 Dyna Glide attached to my sidecar. I've had this sidecar on every bike I've owned here lately. It came on a 2000. The sidecar originally when I traded a 1994 1200 Sportster for that, and it was attached to a 2000 Yamaha Roadstar, which is a 1600cc engine, and it was poorly attached to it. So I took it apart, rebuilt the Yamaha, and I ended up trading it for this 96 Dyna Glide. A little extra money to pay for the paperwork and whatnot, but it was even trade. I've got this attached to this now, but I don't know if I'm going to leave it on it. I like the package. It handles quite nicely, but there's a little bit of issue with how it's mounted. Kind of main issue is it obstructs my foot pedal, my rear brake foot pedal. So what I think I might end up doing if I want to leave it on there, because I actually like it. I really do like it. So I might end up putting a crash guard on it so that I can mount that top front mount up out of the way, or I'll have to build some kind of mount system. And then I think I need to beef up the mount that is back here, that top where it attaches to that shock pylon, where the shock ties into the frame on the upper right there. It's one of the strongest points on the bike. So, and my bracket's a little weak. I need to attach it to the rear pylon a little better to give it, because I think it's flexing slightly. I lost the bolt because the way it mounts on that, or the nut, the way it mounts onto the shock pylon is only like about 5 threads stick out, maybe 6. So I had a castle nut, chrome castle nut on it, and I was out riding it, and it must have stripped, popped that nut right off, and that top bracket popped off. It was a fun experience. It sent me into oncoming traffic into the other lane. So I've got a nut on it now. It's a thinner nut. It went on nice and tight, but it looks like my bracket might have bent slightly. But the sidecar is still sitting level and to the spec, because when I attached it, I put tail marks on. I don't have a flashlight here, but right down here, see that red mark? Every pivot point, connection point has a red mark on it like that to tell if it is moved or slipped, because those lines won't be lined up. So everything has not moved. It's still sitting in the same level position it was at. Suspension needs to be adjusted to the stiffest suspension on the rear shocks. I think I'm still at the 3rd position. I need to go to 4. But otherwise, she rides great. No real shimmy in the front end at all. Braking, deceleration, all that stuff. So the front rake on this thing is excellent for the way I've got it set up. It's about perfect, I'd say. It could probably be a little bit closer to the bike. I could probably draw it in a little bit closer. I think I might end up doing that. I think I might draw it in a little closer. So that, actually, if I do that, I'm going to have issues with the handlebars and opening the window. It rides just fine like it is. Now, this whole thing here pivots forward so you can get in and out of it. And right now I can bring it up and set the corner of that right here on the handlebar, and it holds it open. So when you're getting in and out, you don't have to hold on to it. So, but that's my 1996 Dyna Glide. I will get some more footage of it outdoors, so don't hate on me for that reason. So we'll keep this pretty short, and we'll add to this a little bit later on. Now, I did have that sidecar attached to my 1986 Honda Shadow for a while, so check out some of those videos. And I also had it attached to my 1996 Vulcan Classic. And I also had it attached to a 2003 Yamaha Roadstar that my dad had given to me, which he gave back to him so he could trade in for a Heritage that he no longer owns. Anyways, so he's got a Tri-Glide now, and he's much happier with it. Him and Mom are still traveling, so enjoy that. But my 1996 Dynawag Glide with a sidecar. My dog rides shotgun with me. He's a little freak still. He's just a pup still, so he's learning. And my 7-year-old rides with me, and my 10-year-old rides with me. So they're both actually tall enough now to reach the rear foot pegs on it. But my 7-year-old, she likes to take naps when we go riding. It puts her to sleep. She loves it. She crawls down in, puts her feet way down in, lays her head on the seat, and boom, she's out. She loves it. We're just putting around out here in the country doing 45 to 55 mile an hour. I don't really ride much faster than that. Most of the time I'm right at about 50 mile an hour, just putting. So she's just a little workhorse. 5-speed transmission on that's perfect for it. The 4-speed transmission and the way I geared that one, the sidecar, it lugged a little when you were cruising around at 45, 50 mile an hour. So this one with the 5-speed transmission works a lot better. This one actually worked just fine with it. It's got a 6-speed transmission in it. It was pulling a little heavy, with the weight and all that. It's only a 700cc, but 55, 60, up to 60 mile an hour, she's a workhorse. She's screaming if you get above 60. So about 65, 65, 70 is about all she'll ever do with that sidecar dragging on it. It's just screaming down the road, and it's not working right. So I did go back through the carburetors, and she is running a hell of a lot better than she was. So we'll edit another video and do that. So 1996 Dynawag Glide with a sidecar.